Welcome back. Let's get into it. I got my overlay here, and this is from last week. And so we had a couple chord progressions and a couple chords. We had the G and D minor. So let's go over that. And I'm just going to do it at 80. 80 is a pretty good spot. If you could play it at 80, then that's, you pretty well know it. All right, here we go. Turn this up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try it again. Repeat. So there you have the G, E minor, C, D. And we talked about last week, the shortcuts. Keep your first finger there. Move your middle finger. And then keep your middle finger there to go to the C chord. And then you got no shortcuts here. So yeah, that's the one you want to work on the most. Probably is just switching that one back and forth. All right, so let's go to the next one. So E minor, D minor. So the D minor, definitely challenging chord. Let me see. I'll play this at 80 again, because that's our target goal. So repeat. Yeah, there's not really any shortcuts. Although there's a shortcut going from C back to A minor. You just move that ring finger. That's pretty much about it, though. All right, so let's go on to the next one we had from last week, which was the scale pattern. So we had the pentatonic scale, and we talked about alternate picks. So I'm going to do this at 80 also. Keep it simple. 3, 4. And back. So that was your pentatonic scale, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. As you saw in the PDF, there's a number of things, little different things going on, but just trying to cover most of the basics and then a little bit of extra stuff. So you saw with the blues there. So that was your pentatonic pattern, which will go great with the blues as we get into playing some blues stuff. So let's go to the finger style from last week and think about pattern, and let me see, I think I'll do 60 on this one. So the metronome will be doing quarter notes. Let's see if I can do this. I just cut my nails. 2, 3, 4. And repeat. All right, and as you saw in our new fingerstyle number 3, as we call it, so we put that one up there, and we got a bunch of fun chords: A minor, D minor, G, C. So we got nice minor sound, and D minor. So basically, with this one, your thumb is just changing, and we just have different chords. I think the finger pattern is the same as the the first one we did. It's just we're using different chords. So, oops, D minor, and stretch the G, and C. So let's try that. I'm gonna slow it down. I'll do it at 40. 60 is a good one to do it with the eighth notes, but 40 is probably a good place to start. See if I can do this. 3, 4, so. I'm not going to repeat. I'm just going to go a little bit faster. So I'm going to do it at 60. Just kind of give you an idea how it sounds. It sounds a little different when it's slow like that. But let's go a little bit quicker. 2, 3, 4. Repeat. Alright, you may have noticed on some of those chords, I just got my one finger there, and then I put my other fingers down afterwards. So like when I went to the C chord, I didn't have all my fingers down right away. And that'll save you some time in keeping up. So you don't have to have all your fingers down. It sounds just fine, but naturally we want to put all our fingers down and then go. Of course that slows everything down because we want to stop. Don't stop, just keep going no matter what. So the idea is with the right hand, the finger picking is just don't look at the right hand and just work at playing it by feel. And then occasionally, yeah, you're going to play the wrong string, but your best thing to do is just try to play it without looking. And you want to visualize your right hand, your fingers playing the strings. That's what I'm doing. Alright, so that's fingerstyle number 3. So let's go to some new chords. We got some 7th chords. So our 7th chords, basically, if you notice with the A and the A7, there's really, look at the top there, the A, and then the A7 is just your first finger off. So basically what you're doing is you're adding, which is the 7th, this is the G of A7. So the chord's got A, C sharp, E, G. It's not going in that order on the guitar. I won't tell you what order it's going in because I have to think about that. So then the D chord is the way I look at the D and the D7. So you got your D, and then D7's kind of like a backwards or a reverse. So basically what you're doing is you're moving the root down to the 7th now. It gives you that sound. It's kind of a, we'll do this with the blues, with the other chord too. So you got D7, and then the E7. So the E7 is basically the E chord, but you take your ring finger off. And that now is E7. So E7. So most of the, well, the D7 is really the one you have to kind of switch everything around. Of course, Ds are always difficult. Always got to change your fingers around. But they're used a lot, so you need to know it. So D7, A7, and E7. And let's look at we have a chord progression. So with those chords, if you're able to go back and forth, maybe you print them off, you can put them side by side. Could put them both on the screen, but then you probably wouldn't see me, which is probably okay, it doesn't matter. So what I did here was did the 12-bar blues with those 3 chords. So you have the A7, and then D7, and then the E7. So basically I'll just play it without a metronome, and then I'll try it with a track and see how that goes. So it sounds like this. The strum is down, up, down, down, up, down. Back to A7 twice. And then D7 twice. This is your typical 12-bar blues in A. And then A7 back twice. And one more time. And here's E7. And we skip over to D7. Back to A7. And then end up on the E7 at the end. So that's your 12-bar blues. If you count them, that's 12 bars. And that's your typical blues. That's one way of doing a 12-bar blues. There's numerous ways. This is the one I like and I use. I'm going to try and see if I can get some audio. I do have a track. And see if it's loud enough. I hope it's loud enough. So it's going on. Stop that real quick. And so that's basically your 1-4-5. If somebody says 1-4-5 blues, that's basically what that is, a 1-4-5. Briefly, I'll explain it. So 1 would be your A, so we're in the key of A. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my D. That's my 1 chord, 4. And then basically that's my D. If I go up 1 more fret, that gives me E. So 1, 4, 5. That's probably the easiest way to see it. And that'll work for any key. So if I did blues in the G chord, I would go. So in A is what's another key? E would be E to A, and then B7 back to E. So anyhow, so you could play in whatever key you like. I just chose A because those seem to be the easiest chords to start with. And plus we got the pentatonic is also in A. We'll talk a little bit about that too. So you get the A minor pentatonic playing over that. So let's go into the last page there. So here's another extra little special thing, kind of a blues, and it goes with the track. So I will see if I can play along with the track. But let me explain what's going on here. So this gets a little challenging because we're playing 2 strings. We're not just playing 1 string, but 2. So the idea is not to hit all these other strings. So really, if you can mute them out with your left hand, that's great. You could also mute with your right hand too. And that was with the exercise. We wanted to be able to mute some of these strings and not have them all just ringing out. So yeah, but what I do is instead of choking up like I normally would for like a single string, I pull back just slightly a little bit. I don't know if you can really even see this, but I just pull back a little bit. And so when I strum, I do all down strums. And so that way my pick, and then my pick is pointing upwards. So, and then I rest my hand up above. This is the challenge part, but it's really important. Once you get it with your hand on the guitar up above, it makes it easier. Because if you got it off, there's good chances you're playing the wrong strings and all over the place. So if you can keep it on the guitar, that'll really help out. That's the key. So when I'm strumming, I have my palm here on the guitar itself for the A chord. And then when I go out to I'm using my third finger for the 4th fret. So the 0 and 2 together is both strings together. Let me explain that. So you got open string and then a 2. So 0, 2 together, do it twice. And I have a rhythm there too. It's a blues rhythm, what they it's kind of also call it a swing rhythm. So it's like a bum, 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 bum. So when you listen to blues music, most of the times you hear it dun, 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 dun. So, and of course the track is just like that. So your ring finger or your pinky will work for, if you have a hard time reaching out there. I tend to do my ring finger because there's other things I could do. Sometimes, you might want to add that finger, so. But for this exercise, we're just doing this. So basically, I'm strumming my first finger twice, and I'm doing this rhythm. The rhythm is just dun, 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 dun. So if you get that rhythm going, that'll help. And then you put your finger down in between 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So my suggestion would be is just practicing that. Just get that. When you can get that, I know I'm playing it fast, but you can play it much slower, it's fine. And then see if you could change to the D7 or the D chord. So that sounds like this. And then you just go back and forth between A7 and D7. I'm just going back and forth. Just like the chords, when you learn the chords, it's all about repetition. Same thing here. There's repetition of doing over and over. So there's a chord progression, there's an order of, of the 12-bar blues. And didn't mention the last 4 bars where you got the E, the D, the A, and the E again. That's what they call as the turnaround. So sometimes the blues songs will start with the turnaround. They'll go. And usually a lick here. So you hear that all the time. They start the song with the last 4 bars of the 12-bar blues. And then they just repeat it over and over. It's just the same chords over and over. So the great thing about it is once you learn the blues, you could probably jam and play along with other people. And even if you guys don't know the same songs together, you could sit down and go, oh, hey, you know A blues? Oh yeah, I know A blues. And so, and you could also, there's different things. There's what they call is, I wrote down, this is called a quick change. So when you go from the A to the D in the second bar, that's called a quick change. Sometimes the blues song may just go 4 bars of the first chord of the A chord or whatever key you're in. So it may just sit there and keep on going. And that's fine. That's just another version of the blues. I mean, there's the major A7 blues. There's also minor blues. I would say somebody like B.B. King did a number of minor blues songs. But it's still you have, instead of B.B. King, instead of using major chords, you're using minor chords. It's still 1, 4, 5. You're just doing minor chords. So it's got a different sound to it. So, but yeah. So let me try this with the track and see if it'll go. I got some sound here. 2, 3, 4. feel like you can do both the chord and the rhythm. So a little blues jam, yeah. So basically, it's 2 times through. So you can do the this A blues, and then you could do like what I did here, and I did the chord progression on top of that. One other thing you can do with that track. So here, let me do a little bit of jamming with the pentatonic. And what's great is about with the track, you can just kind of create your own melody. Is really what you're doing. So here we give you a little taste with the pentatonic. All right, stop. Go a little crazy there. So that's what you can do with the pentatonic, and obviously, yeah, I know what the notes are. So I know the A and the D and the E. So I'm going after some of those notes for improvising. So that's a quick little tutorial on improvising, and yeah, if anybody wants to get into that, just let me know, and I could post some other information on some of that. And think. I think that covers everything. Thank you all for your time. I appreciate. And yeah, just let me know if you have any questions. You could always you could email me. I do have a Facebook page. Be safe, take care, and hope to see you soon. We'll see you later.